Okay, so if we take a look now at the setup, swing-wise for a lot of this was actually looking really, really good. Get out the movements we talked about in the past, with kind of your right shoulder moving back there, getting that club working a lot more around you. And the arms falling down now, much, much improved. Just one thing there at setup, we say we can see your lead arm now really kind of going across your chest there now. So it's sort of backing hip here towards the sort of middle part of you, and then the shaft then leaning a bit forward. And the problem is, when you start off in a round of golf, you're a little bit stiff, haven't quite warmed up, and not sort of swinging with that full amount of intensity, so your hands aren't really moving that fast, or as fast they can do through impact, and your body's not rotating as much to get to this position. So the first few holes you start off all right. Then as your body starts warming up, the body starts rotating more through impact, the hands start moving more towards target. Then that club face, now if the handle was to move from where it is here and it moves forwards to here, as we'll see it impact in these sort of swings, as you start coming to impact here now, that's kind of where your hands are going to be. That's just before impact, the ball's still there, and your hands are kind of moving over towards that left side, which is what we want. But if you're not setting up in there, that club going to be pushed forward. The club face now is going to be aiming out to the right, which is going to give you that sort of slice spin as you swing through. And then, of course, as the round progresses, you get more and more warmed up. You start trying to stop the ball from spinning off to the right. The ball then curves even further right because you sort of hang back on it, try to pull the arms left. And then by the end of the round, when fatigue kind of kicks in and frustration, you're like, what the hell with it? I'll just smack it down the fairway. And then it starts going a bit straighter towards the end. But obviously, unfortunately, you've messed up the middle part of the round. So looking for really a sort of setup position that's a little bit more sort of lead arm and the club more in line. Right arm now, you can see something a bit more underneath now from that right hand side. Gives you a nice amount of sort of shoulder tilt there. Just kind of opens up your chest and makes it look a bit more kind of sort of athletic, and that ability now for your body to rotate. So the right shoulder now is going back, and we sort of maintain that head position really nicely. As the arms come back down, just want to, I think, focus a little bit more on kind of this left hip. So we've got the setup change with the handle being forward, but as a swing thought now, just moving this left hip a little bit more towards target. You can see sort of yours more kind of rotates a little bit and never really gets onto that left side. You can see the sort of left foot here kind of indicating what your weight isn't doing. The fact that it's sort of spinning round a little bit there, you're not really moving onto that left side quite as much as we want to. So get the hands forward, address a bit more. It's going to feel like your hands are ahead of the golf ball, when in actual fact they're basically just level with the golf ball. And then from there, with a good movement at the top of the batswing that you're making, just a bit more lower half movement first, and that will sort of help the arms drop anyway. But lower half movement first, hips start moving towards target, get those arms working back down, nice free release towards target. And again, very, very good swing and some really, really good shots in there. So work on that setup, get that lower half working better on the way down, get that driver flying a little bit straighter, a little bit further. So I hope that makes sense, buddy. Any questions, obviously give me a shout, but I'll see you soon. Cheers, mate.